Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Today I am going to live channel a message for you all from the Galactic Alliance, which is our fractal of the Galactic Federation of Light that once was, for those that might be here for the first time. But I have been given some cold notes about what today's message is going to be about. I was wondering when this would step forward, and I was in conversations earlier with a very powerful being, and this topic came up and I thought, okay, I think today might be the message. So I'm looking forward to this message. I think that there is perhaps some out there that won't enjoy this message, but I think there has been evidence of this being brought to light already. We did say that 2024 in the predictions video is going to be the year of truth and, false prophets being brought to light, and I think we are on the precipice of that understanding coming from light spaces, everyone. So I think there is going to be a folding, there is going to be an unveiling of those that are perhaps in very powerful places at this time within the light communities, and things coming to the surface that might not be full truths, and us starting to see that. So I'm looking forward to this message from the GA today. I think that I've had my question marks around some beings for some time, so I was grateful to get some confirmations behind the scenes today with regards to some figureheads, and yeah, I think that the GA are just ready to share this information with the masses out there. So I'm looking forward to you all receiving that as well. So give me a moment and I'm going to tune in with the GA. Thank you for joining us, light beings. We would like to invite you all to connect with our energies a little bit deeper at this time. We wish for you to all receive our frequencies at its highest degree, but this has to come from you. So if you would like to enter a place of meditation with us right now, place yourself in a bubble and ask to receive our frequencies. Allow for your hearts to be opened and for your mind to be clear. Release anything that no longer serves you in this present moment to receive these energies and understanding. Say in your mind's eye, I am ready to receive more. My heart is open. I am ready to receive. Today's message, we feel, is timely, and we see so many on the precipice of making such great changes. We do not want you to fall at the last hurdle. There will be those that step towards and for you because they see your light. They wish to access this light for themselves. There will be those that won't understand your frequency but feel it, that wish to access some of that for themselves. And we say to this, have your heart open, but remember that not everyone needs to be in your life and in your surroundings. And we say this with the most open of heart and arms wide open for all. But we see so many of you giving so much of yourselves when you really should be reserving for self at this time. There are many changes that are happening within your world, and it's time for everyone to see the truth. You are going to need all of your strength and all of your resolve to get through the next few months. There will be many false prophets being brought to light, and those in light spaces also. We wish to share this information with you now so that you can take a look around. We've asked you before to truly understand where the information you are receiving is coming from. Is it from a source that is open to light from all? Is it from a source that is fear-mongering? Is it from a source that is creating gossip and drama and more tyranny in spaces of light? There have been many beings strategically placed in your platforms of light to give and deliver false information. We know that some of you out in the collective have understood this and have felt this at an energetic level. You stopped watching, you stopped consuming, even in spaces that were seemingly of light. However, there are still many muddying the waters, siphoning energy, and we wish for you all to remain pure at this time. We wish for you all to remain curious, but turn within. We have said this before. The most powerful information and the information that you need will come from yourself. Each of you that are here in the here and now, as galactic beings of understandings, hybrid or otherwise, you've been placed with such important information with regards to this world and the things that you are here to create. So tune within, because this is truly the information that you need to move forward within your life path. We know that it may seem easier to come together and to witness someone else sharing information, and of course, platforms like this are here for your understanding and for your expanse. But there are some that push a narrative that is not helpful, and you will start to decipher this message for self. The longer that you sit with information and channelings from others, the more that you will see the lack of substance, or something just doesn't quite sit right. Some of you have been feeling this due to the most recent energetic upgrades. There has been a massive upheaval of energy, and you have been reborn anew. This was something that we were waiting for. We were waiting for just the right time to upgrade so many of you so that you could see the full truth and be ready for such truths. We wish for you all to remember that it is up to you what happens from here on in. It is up to you to step forward on this path with heart open and allowing for others to see your light. It's important that you show yourselves to this world, that you speak of whom you are, whom you believe yourself to be, and share all that you have with others, so that you can all find each other. We are making sure that those that have been asking for community are receiving. So how can you receive community if you are not showing your full self? And we say this with so much love because we see so many of you still hiding, still disguising, still pretending. There is no more need to pretend. It is an unsafe world, but you are safe. There are many structures that will collapse in 2024. We have told you of this before. So it's important that you show yourself now while there is still time for all to witness all. While we still have functions such as the internet and understandings of each other and where we are with regards to your placements within this world. Share your light so others can find you. Share exactly where you are so others can find you. It's important that you live a life without fear moving forward, because it is only fear that keeps you stuck. We see some of you being afraid to share your full selves with those around you, to shine your light because you feel like it's going to trigger others. And we say to this that there is a purpose to all. There is a purpose to every trigger. There is a purpose to every rejection. There is a purpose to every seemingly difficult interaction from those that don't believe what is in your true heart's knowing. Everyone is on their own specific pathways and understandings, but at some point we will all rejoice again together. We would like to remind you of this now. Many of you have been deconstructing your families and your friendships in order to make way for the new. And we'd like to say that the new is much sooner than you anticipate. The new is right around the corner. As soon as you say, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to step forward. I'm ready to access more. So many of you have been wanting more connection from us, and we promise you it is coming. And we are ready to share the true understandings of this world with you all. There is going to be many understandings brought to the surface, brought to light, so that you can have a fresh and balanced new way of understanding life and what is possible. The future is going to be a lot more cosmic, a lot more galactic, a lot more interactive from universal beings, and so many of you are ready to witness this and be a part of this. However, there will be those that have still chosen a path to be on a slower timeline, so you must remember this and have this in heart when sharing with others. Start to truly tune into another being's frequency. What are their fears? What is limiting within them? What is holding them back? How can you give them a piece of information that will help them build themselves up to the next level, to the next phase, without sharing too much, without breaking down consciousness too much? Because there is such a thing as too excessive, too rapid of an ascension. This is why everyone comes with their own understanding, their own teams of light helping them behind the scenes. So if you are in a space of being unsure whether to share information, ask this being's higher self or their teams of light. Ask for information if you know that this being is not in full understanding of where they are in their spiritual path or path of expanse, whatever you would like to call it. Speak to their higher self and higher teams and ask what information you can share with them and see what is going to be the most beneficial to them in that conversation. So many of you have had very profound conversations without realizing it. The energy behind your words has held such a weight. A seemingly unimportant interaction has actually changed a person's life, a person's perspective, and that has in turn changed their lineage's life, the lineage's perspective. So many of you are such incredible light workers without realizing it, because you feel like that you have to look a certain way, be a certain way to be a divine channel of light. This just is not true. We wish to remind each and every one of you here that you are incredibly important, and everything you share within this world is incredibly important. So have those conversations at bus stops. Speak to the stranger in the coffee or tea shop. Be helpful. Carry bags for the elderly. Help children. Speak to those that seek understanding from you. Someone asks you for the time. Ask them how their day is. Smile. Hold everyone in love, in heart and compassion. We want you all to remember that the future is going to be created together. It is going to be a cohesive understanding with more expansive teams out there, other galactic beings out there that have done this before, the realms that have failed before. There's been many lessons learned from all star systems, and we wish to bring all of that information together with you so that you can bring yourselves up into a planet of galactic understanding and within the realms of where the rest of us are living. So many of you here have lived many, many galactic lives, many galactic understandings before, and you are seeding this information for those that perhaps have never lived a galactic life before, to perhaps those that are only just scratching the surface of being a soul that is reincarnating time and time again for soul's learning. You are seeding in this information for those that will come after you. Remember this: soul eternal, life eternal, everything is eternal. So hold love and compassion for all in heart, and we hope that you listen to this message again, to sit in our frequencies again, feel our love and our energy towards you with such reverence, such heartfelt knowing of where you will be in the future. So many of you are fearful. We ask for you to shed this fear. Have love in heart and excitement in heart. We know that there is a lot around you in this world that is incredibly dark, incredibly toxic, and soul-shattering. But we want for you all to remember that you can bring the light, you see the light, and it is through you, your understanding and communicating with others in an open heart, that will seed a better future for all. So have this in mind at all times, in all interactions. We know that this can be difficult, but you are here to seed the light. Do not spread the dark. We love you. And I think such a important message. There has been many spaces that have been brought to my attention with regards to false prophets in light, and I'm glad for this confirmation today, because I think sometimes am I just wanting to see the darkness in some spaces, or am I trusting my intuition? I think that is definitely a message and a question that I've had for myself time and time again, and always the answer is, question everything, even self, but trust your intuition. And especially at this time, everyone, I feel like we're in such a fine balancing of our energies. And I said this in the previous message, that I think we're starting to really fine tune how we interact with different energies, how we interact with, different beings around us, and how we can all help each other move forward. And I do feel like this space of community is, the energy is ramping up behind that. So there's going to be a lot more of us communicating with each other. And if we can all have an open heart and come from a space of honesty, then I think, we can't go wrong. But I definitely know there are spaces that are still fear-mongering in the light. There are still spaces that are passing out, not hopefully, not information that is based on truth, but rather to gatekeep and to, kind of muddy the waters for understandings of truth. So I would say, please do assess, if you've been on this path for some time and, you've been delving into research, please do assess where you are gathering this information. And, I definitely felt like, I've definitely felt more of an imposter syndrome up until this point, because, I very much came from no galactic life whatsoever to the spiritual realms, that being kind of a part of my life without me realizing it for a very long time. And then galactic energy came in much later, and it was very much a slap to the face. It definitely came in with some crunching energy that was incredibly chaotic and confusing at the time. It was because my frequency was having to raise to a level to be able to receive such love. So Pleiadian energy did not feel comfortable to me at first. It felt very cold and harsh. For those that might not know, I resonate as being a Pleiadian Starseed. All of us light renegades do with regards to this channel. So it felt very cold to me. It felt very stern. It felt very in disconnect with my own vessel, and it was because I was out of alignment. You know, I wasn't in very high vibrational being at that time, and I really had to work from the ground up to be able to access their light and their understanding. So for those that, you know, might be teetering on the edge of delving into one's own energy, I would say that that is the best space to be right now. If you are feeling confused, turn back, turn within, and I would suggest, you know, perhaps putting a pause on receiving information from a lot of different facets. And, you know, I did feel like an imposter because I wasn't guided to read much information before I started channeling. It was very much chucked in at the deep end, and I didn't understand why. But now I'm starting to understand that, you know, now that we are coming full circle with regards to all of this, that, you know, the validity of information is going to be questioned, and I think there is going to be a lot brought to the surface, a lot brought to the light that, you know, perhaps hasn't come from a holy light space within these light realms of spirituality, of, you know, galactic energy, starseed understandings. And yeah, I think we're perhaps in for a shock for the system with some of those institutions cracking within the light spaces, everyone. So I'm kind of understanding a reasoning why, you know, I haven't been delving into a lot of other people's content. There is a few creators out there that, you know, I have delved into, and, you know, I consider Shauna L. Francis to be a mentor, you know, of sorts for myself. She was definitely a soul that I was guided to very organically from a very dear soul, and, you know, the original OG light renegade that hasn't stepped forward within this channel yet. So it came very organically how I received, you know, someone that was going to be such a pillar for my understanding and helping me, you know, crack my soul open to receive more galactic energies and understandings, and allowing me for me to believe that that was the truth of what was happening to me. I was very in the dark before that. I didn't even know what galactic energy was. I didn't even know what channeling was, and it all kind of came in all at once. So I'm very grateful for Shauna and for those others out there that I'm in contact with. And, you know, there has been some beings that have come back full circle in my life that I knew from, you know, probably 10-15 years ago, and now, you know, they consider themselves to be of galactic origin too, and we are circling back around to find each other again, and we all have information that's helpful for each other. So I just want to say, you know, trust the information that is stepping forward organically for you. Or if you're getting personal downloads, please start to trust them, because it's coming forward for you. And, you know, you might not have any other information with regards to where it's coming from or why it's coming to you, but if it is of light, trust it. And, you know, there doesn't have to be another person out there to validate what you're experiencing, because it's been brought forward to you because it is for you. And, you know, you've definitely witnessed me scratching my head in question marks around, you know, all information that I'm bringing forward, because, you know, there isn't a lot of beings out there that I think tackling information the way that we are in the terms of the light renegades. But I'm now starting to see that that has been with purpose. So I think just be aware of what you are consuming at this time, specifically at this time, because we are in such a fine balance of, you know, really holding on to this light and trying to access more. And I think the vessel is going through such rapid changes that it's very easy for us to get spun off kilter. So just make sure that you are, you know, sticking to your routines that feel safe for you, but also, you know, the routines that are healthy for you. I think this might be a time where some of the cracks are beginning to show with regards to things that need maneuvering within your life to make it be a much more stable space for you to be able to interact daily within these realms. I've definitely been pivoting to take more time to just sit in silence to receive, as opposed to, you know, doing other types of energy work at this time for myself, just because I feel like I'm kind of in all spaces at once, but also my energy is just fluctuating so much throughout the day that I'm finding that silence and peace is just the most productive space for me right now with regards to my expanse. So for those that might have been feeling that, please know that, you know, you're not doing anything wrong, and there's no one way to, you know, heal a soul, to open oneself up to these realms. So just remember that whatever you are intuitively being guided to do at this time, it's meant for you. But I think that's all from me today and the GA, everyone. Apologies because my energy is just so rapid at the moment. I am very all over the place, so I'm trying to ground in in as much as possible. So I hope that today's channeling was smooth, and if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. And I did just want to remind everyone that all of our services for the Light Renegades, is donation basis. We never want to turn anyone away. So if you feel like you have been wanting to connect with us a little bit more deeply, but you felt like you didn't have the capacity for it with regards to monetary value, energy exchange, we are all here with open arms to those that are seeking more information and guidance. And that can be a donation in the future, that can be a donation now, but please know that we are here to support you. And we just want everyone to be as comfortable as possible. This road is, very treacherous at times, and it can be very physically taxing as well as very mentally taxing. So whatever comfort we can bring to you, please do let us know. Do not hesitate to reach out to any of us Light Renegades, because we are here to support you in whatever way that you feel is best for you at this time, everyone. But I think that's all from me today and the GA, and I'll be back real soon. Take care.